things. They're amazing things, and it's largely down to the fact that the depot was built for them, and these guys are maintaining them. They do such a good job that it's just a rolling programme. They just keep going and keep going.
When you get a bit more confident, I can mess with you.
Yeah.
I can break things, I can put cars in front of you, trees, horses,
Yeah.
fridges. This is what happens now.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's now snoring like mad. So James is playing with the weather conditions.
We've got a dedicated team on nights for that. If you can imagine a pit stop, but obviously not with the pit stop pace because of how long the fuel takes. And then it moves to whatever location it's got, so whatever planned work, whatever maintenance it's got, whether it's coming in the shed, whether it's just a light maintenance night, it'll come either on the sidings or into the depot, which you'll see in a bit.
02 Tower 1, go route set from the Piccadilly reception.
And what happens is somebody will say, I should have got off at that station, you know. And you'll hear the racket that goes on in the cab, you know. It's
what you do there as well, you obviously get your comms through there for the DCO, and that's when you can talk to them.
So it's not very often you get a chance to play trains for real at the Ardwick Siemens Train Care Centre in Manchester. Thank you so much for inviting me along to show you exactly what goes on as regards to learning to drive a train. Now this train is a 185, here's the control panel, we've got the screen through there. It is a little bit like, I can't say a train simulator really, because you get that ideology of what you do at home. It's, yeah, kind of a little bit like that, but on a bigger scale. So once we've had to go driving the trains on this simulator, we're then going to have a little tour around the depot itself so I can show you exactly what goes on here at the Ardwick Siemens Train Care Centre.
just have a go at the horn, high and low. That's it. So if you see 15 over the magnet, ideally.
Right, okay. So down to 20.
We're only at single yellow yet, so take it.
Fish, chips and peas twice.
Hello there, how can I help?
Right, I've got a broken windscreen. That was the most peculiar phone call I've ever had on the train before. They've left me.
Right, so now,
I think I nailed that.
We need to get yours at 100. Don't forget, Gordon.
Yeah.
James has to go on yet, so you can get your own back.
Yeah, well.
He's made the rules. These guys have set the stall out.
Still don't trust them. I still think they're conniving.
Semaphores.
Love them.
What happens with those semaphores when they're slowing you down for a platform like that? They're what we call approach control, so you have to get up to them before the signaller can clear them.
Right.
You go into what they call a burst circuit on the track, and it only then can it. So you're bringing your train to a signal at danger, it slows you right down,
Yeah.
then it'll clear, then it'll drop you into the platform. Keep it going at that.
Just up to. Oh, you're going into bay.
That's it.
Still filming going. Did you get the GoPro? Filming going into bay. So Gordon's going into bay now, so he's got to get it right.
Not Morecambe
You feel-
Bay.
it was
Not Morecambe Bay.
Feel alright?
Yeah,
I think I did alright there.
you did do alright. It's
It's just a lot of concentration.
for a first go,
That was
it was remarkably good. For all of you, you know, you've all done well. We've got to see James.
Champion.
Any purpose?
No.
To be fair, we've had people come to the depot for site visits and that, and like the kids just prefer to look at this and be on this and pull the horn and everything. You know? So yeah, this is, we've got all our drivers are trained to use Lancelot. If you notice there, we've got the coupler, and that's what we'll couple units to with the airlines, external airlines. Units overnight will come in from Piccadilly end or from Ashby's end, and we'll come to either the South Fuel Road, which is the one for the unit on, or the North Fuel Road. That's where they'll have the oils, lubrications, their initial inspections. We go through the D-books.
So they'll put a train over and clean it underneath. That's done periodically. You know,
Right.
every unit is cycled through the underframe wash, and it takes all the oil and dirt off and reduces the risk of fire and so on.
We've got a dedicated team on nights for that. If you can imagine a pit stop, but obviously not with the pit stop pace because of how long the fuel takes. And then it moves to whatever location it's got, so whatever planned work, whatever maintenance it's got, whether it's coming in the shed, whether it's just a light maintenance night, it'll come either on the sidings or into the depot, which you'll see in a bit, where we've got our train presentation, staff will clean it to whatever standard is required, either it's a PHC or just a daily clean.
Now it's time to pop on one of these sets. These are the sets that we're trying to drive in the simulator. They're going to give us a little bit of info and tell us all about this. And they're going to are they taking this through the wash? Did they say?
We're going through the wash, yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be nice.
Yeah, David Graham, production manager, Siemens Ardwick. We're going to take it through the wash, wait for it to reset itself, and then we're going to come back through the wash. Under 5 miles an hour through the wash.
Right.
And that's going to wash the exterior of the unit.
It's below about 3 degrees.
Yeah.
It stops working,
Yeah,
so
it does, yeah.
when the trains come on, the wash doesn't work because the brushes freeze, and it damages the vinyls on the outside.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, I'm Don Coffey. I drive at Pennine Express. They've given me permission to film from the front, cab rides and so on, which I put on YouTube. And the reason they're so accommodating in doing that is because I support the Samaritans with the revenue. So it's fundraising basically. So my channel is Don Coffey YouTube channel.
Anything that comes on the east that we can't get through the wash, what we do is we do what's called a hand bash on it. So we've got a contractor, contractor who will actually physically clean
Right.
the units on the side
Right.
to keep the standard up.
brilliant.
Because as we were just mentioning before, it's one of the major things that gets mentioned is how clean is the train.
Yeah.
You know, especially for the public, if they're walking on and
Yeah.
it just looks grimy, it looks out of place.
Yeah.
You know.
And through we go.
Yeah, so these class 185s I drive for Pennine Express. It's my core traction. They're amazing units. They were built to climb the Pennines and they do it well. So each of the 3 vehicles, it's a 72 metre long set. Each of the 3 vehicles has got a Cummins 750 horsepower engine on it, mechanical transmission, mechanical drive axles. Total output is 2,250. We can actually keep time with these over the Pennines with an engine shut down for whatever reason.
Because they have 3 engines.
They have 3 engines and they'll keep time with just 2 engines running.
It's the most used road in the depot. This is where we do all the routine maintenance. So this train now is the equivalent of your car having a 12,000 mile service, except this is 30,000 miles. So every 30,000 miles the train will come in and have what we call a B exam, but it's effectively a service. I'm Simon Walgis, the Fleet Delivery Manager for Siemens here at Ardwick. This is our main shed. It's got 4 roads, each one is east and west, so we can stable up to 8 185s in here at any one time. 9 road, the one we're on at the moment, is the most used. That's where we do all our maintenance, routine servicing of trains, if you like. And then the other locations are used for as and when ad hoc fixing of trains, whatever we need to do. The next bit we'll go into is what we call 5 road, which is the heavy maintenance, where you'll see the equipment that we can use for dropping the engines, the bogies, cooler groups, all that sort of heavy equipment off the trains.
They're unbelievably reliable. We always say if we go out on a 185 we're coming home. They're that good. there's quite a lot of redundancy built in, so if something goes wrong you can generally isolate something and get them back to base.
Arrivals, so it's nice and quiet, but at night we have something like 16 arrivals plus another 6 arrivals for another fleet, so it gets quite busy, and they will arrive between sort of 2000 hours of an evening, and by 3 o'clock they're going out again, so it's quite a compact window.
I'll tell you something that's quite interesting. The PIS system, the passenger information system, is live. So when you're in the train, it tells you where you are at any one time.
The next station and all that.
If they decide that for whatever reason we're not going forward, so if I'm coming from Hull to Manchester and they decide there's something blocking the line somewhere, it's going to terminate at Hull. When they put it into the computers in the control centre, it sends a text to the train, and that text changes all the blinds on the train. Everything is done on the hoof. It's really clever stuff.
On that information board.
It comes on and somebody will come to you and say, is it only going to Leeds? And you say, no, come to... Oh, just a minute. It says it on the front, does it? And it's because it's got the text before, you know, the conductor's just in the process of telling me that the destination's been changed. Amazing.
I was just going to mention briefly while we're passing, this is what we call the drops, because what we generally do is park the train on top of it, drop the equipment down, and then it comes under the floor where we're standing, goes up there, and then we can work on it. Generally speaking, if it's something like an engine, a bogie or whatever, what we'll do is we'll take it out, put another one back in, sort that out, send the train out, and then work on the engine or whatever's the problem. Just get the train back in service.
So each of the vehicles consists of an engine, a gearbox and drive axles. The number 1 end is configured in that way. The second vehicle is configured the same way, and the last vehicle is obviously facing backwards. So when we put it into forward gear in the front, the first 2 carriages go into forward and the back one goes into reverse to keep the train all go in the same direction. It doesn't try to separate itself. Yeah, the Class 802s that we've got are bi-mode trains. They run on both overhead power and on diesel. So what will happen at a certain point along the track where they need to change over, it'll actually start the diesel engines up, and that diesel engine drives the generator unit. The overhead power drives the traction motors, and all that happens is when you get towards the point where there's no overhead power, the engine drives the generator unit, and the generator unit drives the traction motors. So it's a seamless change, and it does it on the hoof. It does it going along. Clever.
It's very good. Well, this obviously is from a 158.
Yeah, Class 185. It's the 19 litre Cummins, 750 horsepower. Most of that makes it to the wheels, but some of it will be lost in the alternator and all the other bits and pieces. The cooler group, they all draw power from the engine, but a lot of it will get to the wheels. There's no problem with power on a Class 185 with 3 engines running. It's just a flying machine. It's really good.
Your favourite unit?
Without a doubt. Yeah, it is.
Wow, I must admit, when I do these videos with all information that they give me, it is quite overwhelming at times, especially when you don't really know what's going on. But that's why I do this, to try and explain to you what they do, getting on with the sets to get them out, to make sure they're safe and clean for us all to travel on. And not only that, a great insight to the simulator that they have here at the Train Care Depot. Look, I can't again thank you enough for watching, and especially the team here at TP and Siemens for inviting me, especially Don for coming along. Make sure you check any links in the description area down below for any more information that I've featured in this video. And thank you so much for a fantastic lunch that you've been putting together for us all here at this fantastic facility. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I've got more videos coming up very similar to this, so make sure you get tuning in very soon. Ta-ra. Good to go when you are, buddy.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, David Graham, production manager at Ardwick Depot. We run the 185 fleet. We're the maintenance provider for Pennine Express. We've got 51 units where we provide 46 trains every day into service and 47 on a Friday.
It's got a data recorder on it. Everything that the driver does and the train does is recorded in great detail. All I can see is the back of his head. I can't see what he's doing. They don't want us to actually film how to drive it for security reasons.
Where are you going?
Once we've had a little go, hang on, we've got a donkey on the line.
Yeah, I've done footage with Northern before. I used to work at Northern basically, so I got permission to film with Pennine, which is a special concession because we're not normally allowed to have electronic devices in the front. And then Northern, they were the same, they were very helpful, and then other companies have helped out as well, so now you'll find on my channel rides on freight trains, passenger trains, different routes. I've been to London with Hull trains, and we've got a real cross section there.
It's not just the wear, we have to keep the profile at the right profile, so you're constantly taking off a small amount, but if you keep the right profile, the wheel lasts longer and wears less. So there is a sort of balance between how much you cut and how much you let it wear out. But if that wheel skids, like Don said, we put a flat in it. If that flat's that much, you've got to turn the whole wheel, obviously. Likewise, if it accelerated and slipped, it would put what we call rolling contact flats in it.
Right. That is effective.
But it does all depend on them all permitting me to do it. I've got to have the proper permit. You can't just turn up and climb in a train cab and have a ride. It all has to be done officially and with the right permissions and so on. But everybody's been fantastic.
Did you do the 319s when they opened the Bolton corridor?
We did, yeah, we did a train on, we did a run from Hazel Grove to Blackpool on the 319.
This is an I can see where I'm going. We're just passing another train now.
And that's basically the running of how a train comes on and off the depot.
Marvellous.
Yes.
Spot on.